this is MC Alfie. I'm just chilling, Jimmy Star, yo, sitting down and designing. Where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
What happened?
You're on.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. It's our first video show back live, you guys. So hopefully we don't have too many technical difficulties, but we're glad to be back. And let's get started by saying hello to our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
The opening song usually plays longer, so it threw me. They cut it short, and then a voice comes in saying, "We're on." That's absolutely not acceptable on this show. So let's get it right, kiddos. We got to hear the music. When the music ends, Jimmy comes in with his announcement.
It ended weird.
Well, it was very surprising to me, and I don't like surprises when I'm live on television, but I'm happy to be back live on television.
And we want to say hi to everybody. What's up, Dee, the woman behind the boards? We got Dee in Florida, and we have Scott in Philadelphia. So hello, Dee. Hello, Scott.
Hello. That
Yay.
was really bad because you put a little reminder.
Could you lower your voice, honey? You're like
that's your ears.
No, she's like nails on a blackboard. I mean, you got to lower the voice. Get more
That's your headphones. You got to do
No. She's got to be more sultry and more sexy. Let me hear you sultry, sexy.
I don't have that.
Well, get it. You know what? Get a vibrator and start yourself off a little bit. Maybe you'll get sexy.
No.
All right. Listen,
actually, everybody in the chat room talks about how much they love her voice.
They love her voice?
Yeah, I love Dee's voice.
Very, very shrieky.
That's because you have the headphones turned up way too loud. I'm telling you. We just turned your headphones up.
Well, how come the guy sounds good?
Huh? Well, he's a radio guy. I don't know.
Ah! She did it again. She did it again. She's like an electrocution. I love her. Listen, honey, seriously. Let's get a little lesson here. Let's do this. Hello. Bring it down 3 octaves.
I have 1 octave. I tried.
That's better already.
That's better.
We love you, Dee.
Because you see, on TV or radio, you should never shout. You're supposed to speak in a very monotone voice.
That's why he yells at me all the time, too, Dee.
That's different. No, really. Because, you know, the voice levels go... I mean, I've been in the business 58 years. I know sound, and I know lighting, and I know film. And I'm told all the time when I do a movie, keep it 1 level, unless, of course, you're angry, and then you raise it or to fit the script. But when you're doing a show like this, you have to be very level. Keep it always 1 level, because if it goes up and down, it could be very annoying to the listeners.
So, Dee, say hello.
So there we are. There's a lesson.
No, we don't want to give lessons. We love Dee. We love you.
I like her, too. If I didn't like her, I wouldn't tell her. I would just ignore her.
Actually, in the chat room, they say they love her voice. So there you go. And we got a lot of people in the chat room. So first of all, let's do it again. So what's up, everybody? First, we want to say hello to Dee in Florida. Hi, Dee.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, my gosh, that was fabulous.
Now that's great. Now you're a pro. I love it. That is so fucking fabulous. Stay like that. You sound so elegant, so sophisticated, and so professional. That's where you want to stay. That's beautiful.
Absolutely, darling. Anything for you. It's the Jimmy Star and Ron Russell show, so whatever you
see that?
Then we've got Scott in Pennsylvania.
Wait, kissing ass always works.
Then we've got Scott in Pennsylvania. Say hi to everybody, Scott. There you go. You gotta love it. So we have a chat room full of people, you guys. We want to say hi to B. Claudia in Germany. They're all saying hi to Dee and Scott.
You too. Don't shout into
I can't help it. That's the way I am.
Another fucking loud mouth. Lower it down.
Nope, that's the way I talk, and that's why people love me.
They love you.
Yes. So we have Jimmy from the Aquarius View in the chat room. We have Illy from Estonia in the chat room. We have Eileen Shapiro, who's going to be live sitting with us in our studio next week on Wednesday. She's coming to Palm Springs.
Eileen, save me. Eileen, do you still want to marry me? I promise you I will divorce Jimmy for you. But seriously, Eileen, you must save me. I'm being torn to pieces by this stupid radio show, TV show, whatever it is that I'm doing.
You gotta love it. Oh my God, there's a lot of people in the chat room. So hello, everybody in the chat room. We're gonna have a really fun show for you guys today. Coming up first, Our first guest is Gretchen Bonaduce. You guys know her as from the TV show Breaking Bonaduce, and her husband, ex-husband, is Danny Bonaduce from the Partridge Family. And we met her at an event here in Palm Springs like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes, and we met Danny many times. Danny's all over.
I've never met Danny.
You've never met Danny?
No.
Oh, Danny's like wallpaper. He's all over.
Oh, okay.
That's an old expression when people use wallpaper.
Then we also have Alex Reinhardt, who's the star of a film that we recently saw when we were in Beverly Hills called Art of the Dead.
And I'm
She's gorgeous
absolutely
and fabulous.
crazy about her. She's going to be the next great actress of our time. She's fabulous, beautiful, and can she act? And she's just wonderful. There's a presence that she has on film that only movie stars have.
That's right, and we're gonna have a blast. So Eileen's coming in on Tuesday. It's Oscar week next week.
Wait! Don't push the Eileen away.
Okay.
Eileen, bring a bathing suit. Bring 2 gowns. I will do your hair when we go to the Oscars. We must look gorgeous at the Oscars. We must look like New Yorkers, not like Californians. How they go to the Oscars, some of these people from California, they wear like, gardening pants and a little blouse. Ugh. We're going there like stars. We're going to dazzle them, right, Eileen? We're going to walk on that red carpet and knock them dead. See, I'm delusional at times.
Yeah, we're going to have a blast, you guys. We have so many cool events coming up next week. Eileen's coming in Tuesday. On Wednesday,
Wednesday she's coming.
She's coming Tuesday.
Why don't I ever get anything right?
I don't know.
Am I like needing a brain?
I don't know, but how could she come on Wednesday and be on the show on Wednesday? It wouldn't really make any sense.
Well, I said that we're going to a dinner party tonight at Tony and Garrick's, and Rory and Scott are coming. And I said to Scott on Facebook today, see you next Saturday at the party. And he said, no, Ron, it's tonight. So, I mean, I've been screwing up on all of our appointments, all of our dates. I've been giving out all the worst information. I really think that something has gone in my brain. I think maybe it was her voice. It like burnt out some fuses.
Yeah, well, what happened about when you gave
Denise
Rory D.
What's her real name?
Her name's D.
No, it's not D.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody's named D.
I'm sure they are.
No, it's short for Denise.
D, is D your full name, or what's your whole name? She's not even plugged in to talk to us. Hey, D.
See that?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's your real name? D is not.
It is D.
It is not. She's got to be Denise or what's your name?
My name is Danielle.
Oh my God,
now,
that's so
a beautiful name. I'm not. Listen, sweetie, with the new voice and Danielle, you're a piece of ass. I am not going to tolerate any other shit. Your name is beautiful.
Danielle, it's such an elegant name.
Yeah, D sounds like something from the Supremes. No. She's Danielle with the sexy voice. I love her. She's my new best friend.
Because I was not trying to speak so loud, and then I had to speak louder so you could hear me. That's why you couldn't hear me at first.
There you go.
No, but you have to keep that sexy voice because it's so important to be sexy when it's audio.
You're fabulous.
No, I like
You're fabulous, Danielle.
Danielle with the sexy voice.
I like D though, because D's fun.
D is somebody.
You call her Danielle, and I'll call her D.
D is somebody you meet on a subway in Manhattan. Hey D, how you doing, honey? But Danielle is somebody you take for cocktails and French dinner,
and you go to the Oscars.
And Danielle is a classy broad. D is
true. I'm watching Mad Men, and I feel like Danielle is very Mad Men-like, and that's one of my favorite eras in this decade. It's the
Absolutely.
50s.
Well, that was my era. I was a teenager then, an older teenager. But Danielle is a beautiful.
An older teenager.
Well, I wasn't a 13-year-old. I was 16, 17, 18, and 19.
You that you grew up in the 50s.
But seriously, Ava Gardner, who I wish you would know if you knew Ava Gardner, had one of the most fabulous voices in Hollywood. And she became a superstar because of her sultry, sexy, foggy voice.
I like all movies.
Then Elizabeth Scott, another actress, she had a foggy, sexy voice. And now my dear friend Sadie Katz, who I love and adore, her voice is so outrageous that she's getting roles in movies because her voice is so distinctively sexy. So this is what you have to know, that a sexy voice goes a lot further than a voice that you would hear in a kitchen yelling, the fish is ready.
I will definitely work on my sexy, elegant Danielle.
Oh, yes, Danielle. Yes,
actually,
yes.
B. Claudia from Germany is telling you that you're super. That she says Danielle is very glamorous.
I love Danielle.
And Jimmy from the Aquarius View says you're too cute.
No, seriously, I would have named Leslie Danielle. That was one of the names that was on the list, but I was afraid they'd cut it short to Danny, so I named her Leslie. So what do they call her? Les. Oh, and Lara Spencer from Good Morning America, who's her best friend, named her Lester. So I had to live all those years with Lara coming to my house saying, "Hi, Mr. Serrego, where's Lester?" So my daughter had no choice but be Danny or Lester, but she's Leslie. I love those pretty names, Danielle, Leslie. You know, they're pretty names.
You gotta love it.
Danielle. I'm more comfortable with the name Danielle.
It's so elegant.
And it sounds like a sophisticated woman who's been around the world. D, I told you, it sounds like a diner waitress. Hey, D, where's my fucking hamburger?
Okay, I can understand that. I can definitely convince me.
D, we love you. So we want
Danielle, I love you best.
Oh yes, Danielle. I gotta remember
I love you
that.
more because you're sophisticated.
I'm gonna cross down in my notes in my intro.
We're trying to give this crappy show some class. I sure don't bring class to it. That's for sure. My dirty mouth. So maybe Danielle will bring class.
Danielle
to
and
our
Scott
show.
bring the class.
They'll bring class to our show.
Honey, your outfit is bringing all the class it needs.
That's a Jimmy Star shirt.
This is a Jimmy
Today.
This is a vintage Jimmy Star shirt. You could tell by the collar. This is one of the first shirts that Jimmy made when he started to go in business 20-something years ago. And this shirt is about 20 years old. You could tell because of the very big collar. I love it. Everywhere I wear it, I get compliments like crazy because Jimmy Star was the first one to do the insert clothing 30 years ago when nobody did it. Nobody dared do it. Now I go to the stores and I see $130 for a crappy cotton shirt with inserts. They're out of their minds.
Actually, Scott doesn't know that. So Scott,
Jimmy was a designer.
I used to be a celebrity clothing designer, and I
dressed Madonna.
I did all kind of one-of-a-kind clothes. I dressed Madonna and Elton John, and I did the costume design for Too Fast, Too Furious, and I dressed every major horror movie star on the planet.
And he did a handmade, beautiful dress for
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
I dressed Bon Jovi. I dressed all kinds of cool people in one-of-a-kind clothes. And I actually, Dean's got a couple of my shirts from back in the day.
And now he dresses Ron Russell.
And now I dress Ron Russell.
So there you wait.
Actually,
well, anyway, Jimmy not only dresses Ron Russell, but he undresses Ron Russell.
There he goes. And Scott has a fabulous-looking family because we did a Skype test the other day, and I met his wife and 2 sons, right? You have 2 sons. And one of the sons was a gamer, and he sat and helped us with everything. And then the other son came in.
How old are your sons? You look 16. I can't. That's why I'm asking their ages. I thought you were about 20, 21 years old.
And his wife looks like that too.
I'm not flattering you. I don't blow smoke up anybody's ass, as you all know. I don't give away fake compliments. I swear to God. I even said to Jimmy, the kid, I'm not calling you the kid anymore.
Actually, and his wife is kind of like a young Meg Ryan.
That's
She's
nice.
Gorgeous. Yes,
but I
gorgeous.
always say to Jimmy, how's the kid doing? Well, you're not the kid now. I'm going to say, how's the old babe doing?
Scott has transformed himself to the old bag.
But does he look more than 21 or 20?
No, he looks young, yeah.
He looks like a kid.
He looks 21. I look 5.
No, you look about 12, actually.
You look like you remind me of Little Lulu. Remember the cartoon Little Lulu, the comic book Little Lulu?
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say she's not old enough to know Lulu.
No, but she reminds me of Little Lulu. Was this cute little girl with she wore polka dot clothes and big bows in her hair. Oh no, that was Lottie Lots. Little Lulu. What did anybody out there know what Little Lulu looked like? I used to love Little Lulu.
Hilarious. We want to give a shout out real quick. Hannah Clive just joined us from London. What's up, Hannah? You guys.
Hey, Hannah Banana.
Long time no see, and we're gonna call our first guest. I think. Does she look like she's online, Scott?
Yep.
All right, so you guys, what we're going to do is we're going to play a song, and while we're playing that song, we're going to get our first guest, the gorgeous and fabulously talented Gretchen Bonaduce. The name of the song is Without You. It's a cover song from the movie Rent, or in the Broadway play Rent that became a movie Rent, and this is her cover of it. We're going to play it for you guys to listen to, and while you're listening to it, we're going to get her on the line. So here we go, everybody. Enjoy Without You by Gretchen Bonaduce.
Oh, yeah.
Without you, the ground thaws, the rain falls, the grass grows. Without you, the seeds root, the flowers bloom, the children play. The stars gleam, the poets dream, the eagles fly.
Jay to transmit.
Hey, you guys, you can't hear the song. We're not sure why. We have to work it out. So in the meantime, are we live now, Dee?
Yes, you are. You actually came in just in time.
Oh, there we go. We came in just in time.
I found you just in time. My something was getting very hard. I think that's not the lyric.
I don't know what the lyric is.
Just in time. I found you just in time. Now that I have a heart on, is that?
No, that's not it. Anyway, so maybe we'll just call her live. Can we do that, Scott? All right, perfect. So everybody, we're calling Gretchen Bonaduce. I don't know why. I was just called her Hannah Clive because Hannah Clive is in the chat room.
Because you're a dumbbell.
I know. I can't help
dumbbell, dumbbell, ring, ring-a-ling, ding, dumbbell.
You gotta love it. Oh, somebody says they could hear it.
See that?
Who was that? Who said they could hear it? Who is that?
Bitch smack Danielle. Bitch smack.
Hey.
Her. There she is. Look at that good looking.
Hello.
How did Danny land you? I want to hear that whole story.
Oh, hold on. We have to wait.
I mean, you're really
wait. We have to say hi to her first.
Nah, skip that shit. You're a hot-looking girl. The night that I met you, I thought how gorgeous you were, and you are sort of Ava Gardner-ish.
Wow, that is incredibly kind. I honestly didn't look this good when I married Danny. I've had a lot of help, so I think yeah, that's the answer.
Well, I've met Danny a few times, and I would have thought that you looked better. And then the marriage made you look worse. Danny's a wild guy. He's very way out there, but I like him. He's kind of cool. He's very real, very down to earth, very forward, very tough.
Oh, she might not think so. Wait till you hear about her book that we're going to talk about. First, we have to introduce her because nobody knows who she is. She can't start talking. I know, but she can't start talking when we haven't introduced her.
Well, they're going to think it's Ava Gardner, the jerks that don't know Ava. The ones
I love that. That's just fine with me.
Well, wait a minute. The ones that don't know Ava Gardner is dead, they'll think you're Ava Gardner.
There you go. So here's what we're going to do, an official thing, so we have it for the TV show.
Also, she looks a little bit like my buddy, Julie Newmar.
Yeah, she does look like a young Julie Newmar.
You know, the biggest one I get, though, is Priscilla Presley.
I think you look just like Julie, Priscilla Presley.
I know Julie Newmar has been a friend of mine for 100 years, and I knew her back in the day when she was, very young and very beautiful. And you look like Julie Newmar now. I'm seeing the cheekbones, the smile, and you look more like.
She's so hot.
Julie Newmar she's still a beautiful. I just interviewed Julie.
How can I be upset? All of these comparisons, there's not one that you have said, like, how flattering. That's so awesome. I thank God you guys don't have my yearbook, because you would be like, oh my God, look at her in high school.
The first time I looked at you, I thought you looked like Boris Karloff. But then looking at you, for those of you out there who don't know who Boris Karloff is, he played Frankenstein. But anyway, yes, you're very beautiful, and I'm sure Danny's.
And I want to do an introduction.
Danny's eating his heart out.
I want to do an intro now, so we have an intro for the TV show, or otherwise we don't have it. I can't send it to Comcast without an intro.
Fuck up and introduce it. Jesus Christ.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented and gorgeous Gretchen Bonaduce. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. What an honor. You guys are so much fun. Like, how can I have a better afternoon than talking to you guys?
There you go.
That's very nice. You could have sex with the hot young guy. That's maybe better.
No, she's got a hot boyfriend. She's got a boyfriend.
We saw her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Which one was her boyfriend?
Her boyfriend was the rock star guy at the event that we went to.
Oh.
Well, everybody, we met Gretchen a few weeks ago at the Lip Sync for a Cure thing.
Quiet. You opened the door. That's your boyfriend?
Yes, that is my boyfriend. We have been together for 10 years, a long time.
Do you want to get intimate with us about it?
I'm open to whatever you guys want to talk about. I might not answer, but ask me.
Is he as good in bed as he looks?
Better.
Better. Oh, you're a girl after my heart.
You gotta love it. So hold on, let's make some introductions so everybody knows.
Yes.
This is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
How do you do, everyone?
Listen to you. Then we've got two people behind the boards. We have Scott in Pennsylvania. Say hi, Scott. There you go. And we've got Dee down in Florida. Say hi, Dee.
Hello.
Oh, Danielle. Danielle, I'm sorry.
Danielle, you dummy.
Hello.
There you go. That was good.
listen
She tried to.
Now she sounds like little Lulu for sure.
And we have a chat room full of people right now. We have England, Germany, the UK, Estonia, Canada, and the United States and Australia represented. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Like, how awesome that anyone's interested in me at all. So, especially all over the world. Like, that's amazing.
Lose that. That was when you were in your yearbook. Now that
you're
are
Gretchen
gorgeous
Bonaduce
and a superstar, lose that. They're lucky to get you. Bullshit. You're lucky to give them who you are.
There you go.
Oh, well, you know what? I just am so flattered and honored to be in this business at all. Like, what an amazing opportunity in life. You know, I've had a couple of TV shows. I produced TV shows. If you live in Hollywood, I've been able to do it like everyone wants to, you know, to go to the Grammys and the Emmys. And, you know, I'm just very blessed that I've been able to live the Hollywood life that everyone would wish to live if they could. You know, it's been great.
I've lived it for 58 years, but I lived it when it was fabulous. I lived it when it was Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly, Marilyn Monroe, my dearest friend Jane Russell. I lived it in the days of the superstars, the legendary stars that the studios made. Now tell me, how did you go about doing it from being an ugly girl in your high school?
See, I'm sure she was never ugly.
I know, but I like to go along with the bullshit they give me.
Oh, you guys, I'm going to send you a picture. You're going to be like, oh my God, how did this happen from that to this? I just grew into my face. And then, of course, I have had, you know, quite a bit of help, which I'm open about. I really, really hate it that people want to make women feel bad about wanting to look as good as you can for as long as you can. What's the problem with that? Right?
Well,
no problem.
I know a lot of women that dynamited their faces and they look worse now than before. You're very lucky that whatever work you've had done was minimal and that you came out so beautiful. But you know, you've seen a lot of these cheekbones, blown up lips, fake tits. I mean, they're a mess. They look like Barbie dolls exploded. And
Seriously?
Men don't like it.
Oh my God. When I'm in Beverly Hills and I'm sitting at a restaurant and I see an old couple and she like has had all this work, I'm thinking the husband has to be going, when did I marry an alien? You look like a freaking alien. You don't
No, they don't look alien. Aliens are better looking. But I have many friends that I have told, you overdid it. You look like, years ago, they used to have a Cupid doll. It was a doll with big cheekbones, and that's what they look like, blown up Cupid dolls. It's not attractive. I see skinny women, they're at like 90 pounds, and they're 42 double D chest, and they look ridiculous. Their tits look like they're going to fall forward. Or they have a 70-year-old woman with 3,000 extensions in her hair. She looks like she got electrocuted rather than she's like a lioness. And those
I have like 100 hair extensions. I don't have a million, but I do have some.
Listen, don't compare yourself to those women, please. I could see you still have scars from years ago. We all do. I have scars from when I was young. Not that I was ever bad looking. I was always hot.
He doesn't mean scars. He means like physical scars. He means emotional scars.
Emotional scars. You know, mine was being called a fag all the time, and they said, "How come you act like a girl? You're such a sissy. You're a fag." And I'd say, "What's a fag?" They knew what a fag was before I did. The straight guys. Anyway, so I carry scars, but I try to get rid of them by saying, "I'm Ron Russell." Story quickly. Mr. Blackwell, my dearest friend in the world, went to Joan Crawford's apartment in New York to see her for the first time. And he and his lover Spencer were sitting in the living room and they could look down the hallway. Down the hallway was, outside of Joan's bedroom, a floor-to-ceiling mirror. and they saw Joan Crawford standing in front of the mirror saying over and over again, "I'm Joan Crawford, I'm Joan Crawford, I'm Joan Crawford." Marilyn Monroe did the same thing. She would be Norma Jean in a dressing room, and then she'd go out. Terry Moore told me this, and she'd stand in front of a mirror saying, "I'm Marilyn Monroe." So maybe you should do that. You should get in front of it and say, "I am blah blah blah." What's your name?
Gretchen Bonaduce.
Well, no, I'm going to say I'm Joan Crawford. I'm going to stand in front of the
No, you don't. No, you want to
I'm
say,
Joan Crawford.
no, you want to say, stand in front of the mirror and say, "I'm Ava Gardner."
Yes, I will.
I love it.
But
No,
I,
you know what? I think it's more about being humble. I think people that are conceited, it's such a turnoff to me. Like when people want to act like they are just the most beautiful person, and I just don't like people like that. I love humble people, and I just always want to stay that way. You know, I grew up a Midwestern girl, grew up in the South, moved from Chicago to Chattanooga when I was a sophomore in high school, and I just always want to be a down-to-earth, humble person. You know, beauty fades. If you hang all of your hopes and dreams and everything on that, I mean, I'll be 54 this year, and
wow,
and,
another one that looks great.
you know, I just feel lucky. You know, it's not about. I mean, I'm sure you're right in some respect that I do feel scarred, that I wasn't popular and all that, but really, I just feel like I want to be humble. Like I have been so lucky in life. You know, I got to marry Danny, and we were married 18 years. I don't know if you know, we were married that long, and we had an amazing life and 2 great kids. And I just try to look at everything with the positive sort of angle. And so
what
Keep
went,
talking. I'm going to move the camera a
what
little.
went wrong? 18 years, 2 kids. What went wrong? If you want to give us a little bit.
Sure. Well, I just wrote a book. I don't know if you know about it. Called
I do.
Surviving Agent Orange and Other Things I Learned from Being Thrown Under the Partridge Family Bus.
Move it over a little bit. We didn't get the whole full book. Move it over to your left. Right there. You got it. Gretchen Bonaduce, Surviving Agent Orange.
And Other Things I Learned from Being Thrown Under the Partridge Family Bus is the whole name of the book. What went wrong in the marriage is when you're married to someone who has addiction issues, it's kind of an impossible situation.
What kind of addiction? There's all sorts of addictions.
Oh, he was drinking and drugs and steroids, and you know.
So he was using. He was using.
Yeah, he was using. Whose head is that?
What?
So, I'm just looking at the view that I have right now. I saw someone.
Jimmy's fooling around. Jimmy's playing with our camera, and he has me on video on the what the hell is it called? The laptop.
Okay.
So we'll go on the camera soon. But go ahead. I don't want to interrupt. This is good, juicy stuff.
Yeah. So we got married. I didn't really realize he had the addiction issues that he had. And then I quickly learned, and then it just became my job to try to help him and make him better. And so, I mean, I literally laid behind his car and said, "You cannot get drugs. If you want to get drugs, you're going to have to run over me." And I'd lay behind his car. And so there were things like that, you know, that I did because I was fighting so hard to try to help him. And, you know, when we first got married, he was kind of a joke. You know, he was kind of the ex-child star gone wrong, which was that whole era where it was Todd Bridges and Dana Plato. Like everybody was kind of in trouble. And so we just worked really hard to try to make him better and repair his reputation. And we did such a good job that he ended up getting a Disney show. He was doing a TV show with Buena Vista TV. And then he did a show with Dick Clark and Mario Lopez called The Other Half, which is kind of the male version of The View. So it was a lot of hard work. And he just really kept betraying me. Like I grew up Southern Baptist. Like I grew up in a very strict Southern Baptist home. And in some ways, I feel like religion can almost victimize you a little bit because you're so conditioned.
I agree.
Forgive. Keep your marriage together. So I think I was kind of coming from that place for a really long time because I wanted to save my marriage. And, you know, we had children and we had all these reasons to stay together. And that was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to write the book, because I felt like no one really addresses that when you're raised in such a religious situation, that you can be victimized by it, by constantly turn the other cheek and forgive and forgive. And that's what I kept doing, you know, and I don't regret it. Like, I think I left when I wanted to go, when I was ready to go. And when I saw that there was nothing else I was going to be able to do. If I didn't leave now, in 6 months, I was going to be in the exact same situation. And I didn't really want to be in that anymore.
Now, Gretchen, did you suggest a 12-step program?
Oh my God, we did everything. We did 12-step, we did rehab, we went to church. I mean, we literally tried everything, but you can't make someone better who doesn't really want to get better or who doesn't think they need it. And at the time, I don't think Danny, you know, felt that way. You know, he'd just come back to LA. He had a really big radio show that was super popular.
I remember that.
Yeah, so he was so successful, and he's not the kind of person that I think needs to be in this sort of situation. It's too much temptation. You know, it's like having crack on every corner in this town because there's beautiful women who don't care if you're married, you know, that will throw themselves at you. There's drugs, there's alcohol, there's just everything that if you're not a balanced and stable person, you're not going to be able to navigate it. You know, it's just too much.
Well, as I said, I've been in Hollywood for years. I came to California in 1949. I was 9 years old. My mother was a silent movie actress, and my father a set builder, so I was born into the business. And my mother and father kept their marriage till he died. And my mother was very, very old-fashioned, and I was raised old-fashioned, so I've never done drugs, thank God. I mean, I drink a cocktail to get a little bombed, but that's fun. But I know.
I'm drinking one now.
Right. But I know so many child stars, I won't mention any of them, that got fucked up by drugs. Danny was a victim of Hollywood. I think had he been raised where you were raised, he would not have turned out what he turned out. But in Hollywood, you know, look at Judy Garland, what they did to her. Diet pills, ups, downs, Tuinol's, Quaaludes. They gave her every shit there was to keep her going.
I think it's in the parenting. I so think it's in the parenting. Danny didn't have a good relationship with his dad. His dad was like a really famous screenwriter. Like he wrote for One Day at a Time. What's the Archie Bunker show? I forgot the name.
All in the Family.
All in the Family. He wrote for all these shows, and I think it was difficult for his father to see his son be more successful, you know, than he was. And he was very verbally abusive to Danny, on occasion physically. I think when you grow up like that, and you're a child and you have the whole world saying, we love you, you're amazing. Then you go home to a dad that says, I hate you, you're despicable. What you do is one step below pimping, which his dad would say to him. The poor guy had no chance, you know, and I had such compassion for that. You know, I felt like a lot of the things that happened to him were out of his control. You know,
you don't think that addiction is a inherited thing?
Oh, well, yeah.
Addiction is definite. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not hereditary.
Hereditary, yes.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. My sister-in-law, by the way, was an out-and-out junkie for years. She was stoned out of her bird. My nephew and my nieces, you know, everybody sort of went through a rough time. She cleaned up because she was dealing, and the police came, the SWAT team, to arrest her. She was one of Santa Monica's biggest dealers. They were going to put her in. They were going to put her in jail.
This is like 35 years ago.
Yeah, they were going to put her in jail. So not to put her in jail, she cleaned up and promised the judge that she would never do or have anything to do with drugs. She went back to college. She got a degree. She became one of the biggest in Santa Monica people that restore and help drug addicts.
Good for her.
She owned a halfway house.
And my nephew today also is clean, and he helps many people. He goes all over the country to live with people, to help them to clean. And my sister-in-law swears that drug addiction is definitely a disease. That's the word I was looking for. So Danny suffered from a disease. Is he still loaded or what?
I don't know. We haven't been married in a long time, and he's remarried and very happily, and I'm so happy for him. You know, I never wanted bad things for him. So
how about you? You want to marry the hot guy you're with, or what? You just want to keep him as arm candy, or what?
No, well, we've been together 10 years. So, but I don't think I need marriage again, and he's fine with that. So, you know, I just feel like I did that. I did it for 18 years. I have never once, or maybe in a few occasions, seen a divorce end up friendly. It always goes bad. So why put yourself through that? You know, we're very happy. We've been together 10 years. He doesn't care if we get married. I don't care if we get married. I just feel like when you get married, you are risking having things blow apart in an ugly way. And I just don't want that. I've had all of that I ever want.
I love it.
I was married to a woman for 16 years, and I have 2 daughters, and she was an alcoholic that she didn't want to accept the fact that she was a drunk, and always a drunk. So when I came to LA, we were living in New York. When I came to LA on business, filming at Universal or whatever, friends would tell me she was plastered for the whole week I was gone, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she took off. She left, and she didn't want any part of me or my children. So I raised both my daughters alone, which is something that alcoholics do. They are so loaded, they have no feelings for anyone. They don't care about their families, their children. They just care about the next drink. Jane Russell, the legendary movie star who was my dearest friend, Jane and I were hanging out buddies, she would tell me, the difference between an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic is the alcoholic will drink every drop in that glass, but a person who's not an alcoholic will leave some. And Jane said she cleaned up at 80 years old. She said, who ever heard of a woman at 80 cleaning up her act? And she did, and she died at 89 sober. So
Wow.
There are many success stories. Now, question. I
want to talk too.
Wait, you'll talk. Well, you told me to run.
I know, but now I'm back. So.
Okay, but wait, let me just do this and don't get smart because I'll. Wait, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Wait, he thinks he's going to have wild sex and happy shit. Tomorrow I'm leaving. I'm going up to Idlewild to the snow.
No, anyway, I won't go to Idlewild.
That's why I'm going.
My son goes to school, actually, in Idlewild.
Really?
I
cool.
love it up at Idlewild. Where do you live, in L.A.?
I currently do, but I have my house on the market. I'm trying to leave. There's nothing more sad than trying to hang on to showbiz when you get older, and I don't want to be one of those people. So I listed my house in Los Feliz. It's beautiful. Everybody Google, look for my house.
I love Los Feliz. That's
yeah.
quite
Well, buy my house. It's beautiful.
No, I wouldn't move.
And where do you want to move?
Wait a minute. I wouldn't go to L.A. for free. I used to live in Beverly Hills. I lived on Spalding opposite Beverly Hills High in an old 1926 Colonial. And those days were wonderful. L.A. was beautiful. Now L.A. is a sewer. I wouldn't.
Wait, where do you want to move to? Where do you want to move to?
Palm Springs.
Well, we actually are thinking about buying a property there so we can come and go, because I still do have some business here that, I need to address. So I want to come back and forth. But we put a bid in on a house in Arizona. So
everybody's going to Arizona.
I would die first.
It's so much cheaper. It's so
yes.
But you're not in your element. I thought I was going to retire. We moved to Pennsylvania. I was there 4 years. I wanted to commit suicide every day. I hated my life. I'm so in the business. If I'm not, what am I going to go talk to a plumber about? I don't know about fucking plumbing. And if I would talk to them, I'd say, well, I just got back from LA. I made a movie. They'd look at me like, oh, show off, bragger. But honey, that's my business. You like to talk about pipes. Well, I talk about movies. So I came back to Palm Springs. Everybody here is legendary. We just lost Carol Channing and my buddy Kay Ballard. So everybody here is in the biz. Everybody we have at our parties is in the biz. So when I talk about my business, I don't look like a show-off or a bragger. You know what I mean?
And that makes it kind of difficult, because when you are talking to people that aren't in the business and you're just saying what you're doing, a lot of times they think that's coming off as bragging. When you're not, you're just saying, this is what I'm doing. And they're
Exactly. I tell people all the time, if I were a plumber, I would be talking about your toilet is clogged. Now I'm going to unclog it. Like, that's interesting, right? So that's your business. But if I talk about, I just my toilet was clogged while Kim Novak was using it, then that's bragging because you name dropped. So this is nonsense. In Palm Springs, we all know everybody. So if I talk about you, I'm not name dropping you, and I will talk about you tonight at dinner. We're going to friends' houses for dinner, and I'm going to talk about the house.
She knows them.
Oh, you know Garrick and
Yeah,
Tony?
they know. She knows Garrick. That's how I met her. Garrick introduced me.
That's where we're going for dinner. And I'm going to tell them she's sensational. You know, I met her briefly at the affair, but who could talk with the crowd?
So I want to go back real quick, though. I want to go back because I haven't gotten to talking. First of all, because everybody in the chat room is asking questions.
You could talk now from...
Everybody's talking about the book in the chat room. So first of all...
Wait, a warning. Please don't fall asleep. Jimmy's about to
ha 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 ha. So anyway, so first of all, you guys, let's go back so everybody gets it. The name of the book is Surviving Agent Orange and Other Things I Learned from Being Thrown Under the Partridge Family Bus, which I freaking love. You guys, the book is fabulous. I have a copy of it, and I only read the foreword because I'm getting ready to write a foreword for a book, and the foreword was amazing.
Here we go.
The foreword was amazing. So I read the foreword. I read parts of chapters. I haven't had time to read it because I've been busy with stuff, but the book is absolutely amazing. You guys need to get it. I think you will love it. And she's got comments written by all kinds of really cool people if you know who they are. And one of them, who was at the event that we met her at, but I didn't get to meet her, was Sherry Curry, you guys. And anybody who doesn't know, Sherry Curry is like living under a freaking bus because there's no way you can't know who Sherry Curry is.
I'm living under a bus. Who's Sherry Curry?
Sherry Curry is like the biggest female rock star in the history of music.
I haven't a clue.
She was.
Yes, you do. The Runaways. She was
in the Runaways.
Singer. Yeah, the lead singer of the Runaways.
The Runaways. Sherry Curry, Joan Jett, Lita Ford.
Who's the Runaways?
It's a band. They're so famous. They made a great movie about it, which I don't know if she liked the movie or not. I liked it because I liked the people in it.
You have to remember, I'm Johnny Mantis, Peggy Lee people.
Okay, this is uncomfortable.
Fuck you! I'm never putting my arm around you. I want to.
It's uncomfortable. I don't have room.
I want to divorce.
So wait a second. No, so you guys got to get this book because it's really, really cool, and it's all. And the thing about it too, you guys, because I wrote down some little notes. So
imagine
it is
half of the world would wish my arm was around them, and this son of a
bitch focuses on. Okay, you guys, but listen up. Surviving Agent Orange focuses on the rest of the story: her 18-year marriage to Danny Bonaduce, addiction, infidelity, chaos of celebrity life, divorce, life as a single mother. She's also a musician, a reality star. She's got 2 kids, Countess Isabella, and Count Dante, which I think is the coolest thing ever.
Yes,
and it's
titled them as their first name. So on their passports, it says Count Bonaduce and Countess Bonaduce. So whenever we go to a foreign country, they're like, oh my God, you have a Count and Countess with you? I'm like, yes, I do. And they go through.
and you
guess
guys
what? Wait a minute. When I travel, I have a queen with me.
You do? That's true.
My queen beats your Count and Countess.
And that's a fun and funny look at life in around the spotlight, you guys. So you definitely want to get it. She's also, since her show Breaking Down Bonaduce, she's become a producer on tons of great stuff, and she's a phenomenal singer, and she's got a band called the Fatal 80s. And the Fatal 80s. So tell us about the Fatal 80s real quick.
I am so lucky that I have fallen into this great group of musicians here. All of them are in other big bands. Like my keyboard player plays in Eagles of Death Metal. One of my guys is in the Lords of Acid and Powerman 5000. And we just kind of put together this little side project. And I have so many other great musicians. Like I have found the cream of the crop here. And we put together this 80s tribute band. So we just play all the hits, like I Melt With You, Kids in America, Journey, like we do all the great stuff. And it's just a lot of fun. We all dress 80s and it's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool.
That's so funny. We went to a horror movie.
When are you bringing it to Palm Springs?
As soon as I can get out there. It's really hard to find gigs out there. And Vegas, interestingly enough, is kind of hard because they have so many bands there that if they bring a band in from out of town, they have to put you up and feed you and stuff. So it's kind of hard even to get out there. I played there a few times, but it's hard. But I would love to come out. If you guys have a friend who's having an 80s birthday party, you guys need to bring my band because they're incredible.
I love it. So awesome.
Absolutely.
We went to a premiere in November called Clown Motel, and one of the guys there was also was in Lords of Acid, was why I bring it up. Well, I don't know, I forgot what his name was, but one of his guys, and I met one of the guys from Power Man 5000 at a convention one time.
What has this got to do with anything?
That's who's in her band.
Oh.
Zoned out now. He's like,
And so also, you guys, the Fatal 80s have opened up for Missing Persons, the Tubes, Flock of Seagulls, and the Motels. And we had the Motels on last year. They were fabulous.
Get your hand
so good.
We had such a good time. And who's the lead singer? Martha, right? Martha's the
Martha
lead
Davis.
Martha
Yeah.
Davis was on, and she was on her farm showing us her llamas and stuff, like walking around on her phone on Skype, showing us like her llamas on her ranch and stuff. She was the coolest lady ever.
All the 80s people are still phenomenal, like Missing Persons, Dale Bozio, fantastic singer, Martha Davis, Mike Score from Flock of Seagulls, great. I just saw Adam Ant a few months ago. Amazing.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Eileen
my
Shapiro
business
just
partner.
fainted.
My business partner's name is Eileen Shapiro. We have a PR company, a really good one, and Adam Ant is her like favorite. And she took us to a concert in Philadelphia. She's interviewed him for like every magazine on the planet.
She only wants to.
And she travels all over the
Who
country.
doesn't, though, really?
She travels everywhere.
I think he's a skinny nothing. I mean, I saw him. He doesn't even look like a man. He doesn't even look like a man. He looks like a little girl with a mustache. But Eileen will ball him in a minute.
Eileen loves Adam Ant. That's what she goes every. She went to go see him in concert
in England.
Like 3 times. Yeah. You know, she goes to England and she gets to interview him too.
She's interviewed him a million times. So I said, just grab his wang and see what happens. You know, he might like you and say, okay. Like Jimmy's got his hand. Jimmy has his.
Me too. That could blow up in her face.
I know.
But wait, Jimmy has his hand on my knee. Now, if you're not going to go any further, get your fucking hand off my knee.
Yeah, you have to wait till
this is a whole different show than I thought I was doing.
Oh, we're unfiltered and uncensored. You can say whatever you like. We don't play here. We tell the truth. That's why our show's #1.
So let's do some bragging.
No phony shit here.
Let's do some bragging.
I'm a Brooklyn boy. I tell the truth.
So you're like.
I have to say, since you just said that is what I bought my boyfriend for one of his gifts. He loves Brooklyn pizza. So I just had Brooklyn pizza FedEx to me, which will arrive today so he can have that for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh my God, that's like the sweetest gesture ever.
He's got to eat it fresh right out of the oven. It's going to be dry. So
and I also just made matzo ball soup for him too. Right before I came on here, I was making homemade.
Let me tell you what you do with that pizza before you give it to him.
Okay.
Get a little olive oil and put it in an atomizer where you could spritz it, and just spray it with a little bit of olive oil and then heat it. That'll replenish the softness of it and make it taste better.
Thank you, because I want it to be perfect. I've got the homemade matzo ball soup. Got the Brooklyn pizza. It's gonna be great.
I guess it's not going to be a surprise now, though, because now he knows.
Is he watching?
No, you know, he's working. He's not watching. He'll be surprised.
You guys have got to Google.
That's so sweet.
You guys have to Google Gretchen Bonaduce and look for her boyfriend. He doesn't look like an American rock star. He looks like a British rock star. He is so like regal looking. It's not even funny. And he's like about 6 foot, probably like 5 or 6 or 7. He's huge.
I thought he was very cute.
And so it's like when you see them together, you see him and you know he's some kind of a rock star, and you see her and she looks exactly like a very, very young Priscilla Presley.
No, Ava Gardner. Do you know who Ava Gardner is?
Yeah, I do, but she looks just like Priscilla Presley.
She doesn't. Ava Gardner is better looking.
When I saw you, I'm not kidding you. When I first saw you, I was like, oh my God, and I didn't know who you were. I didn't know that was you.
If we had a picture of Ava Gardner next to her, look at the chin. Ava had a strong chin.
She's got such a great smile.
Look at the cheekbones. Look at the eyes. She's got Ava Gardner's eyebrows.
Well, I think she looks like Priscilla Presley's my generation, so I feel like she looks like
Presley looked like a
fucking super hot lady.
No, Ava Gardner was what they call classically beautiful.
So when I first saw,
Priscilla Presley had thick eyelashes, black rings around her eyes, tons of makeup.
Didn't.
Yeah, Ava Gardner.
You don't even know who Priscilla Presley is.
I don't know Priscilla Presley. I was from the Elvis days. You weren't even born yet when Elvis was.
I know, but I saw her in all her like movie roles, like Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, but you have never watched. Please see One Touch of Venus with Ava Gardner, and you see.
So she can look like both of them.
No, she doesn't.
Anyway, so we were at the Lip Sync for a Cure, you guys, and Gretchen Bonaduce played. Who you were, John? Paul McCartney.
Yeah, we were the Beatles. I was Paul McCartney. My friend Susan Olsen, who was Cindy Brady. She was John Lennon. My boyfriend was Ringo because he's a drummer, so I just had to let him be Ringo. And then we had a couple of our friends. We had Yoko do an appearance. I was so bummed. I thought no one's going to beat the Beatles, and I had the beard. I did the whole like.
Oh no, you guys look terrific. You look terrific. You look totally terrific.
I knew that Betty Davis would win.
But Betty Davis,
because 80% of that crowd was gay, and there's no way gay guys are not going to let. I'm writing a letter to Daddy not win and coming out dressed like Baby Jane. You know.
I thought the person that did I Had the Time of My Life won. Did the
Baby
no, they won. They won the fan one.
Right.
The fan one, but the judges one was Betty Davis. Right. Anyway, when I saw you at the event, I had no idea who you were, and I immediately thought Priscilla Presley, and I was like, I wonder who that is.
No, with the beard.
And then, please let me talk.
I didn't think she looked.
She didn't have a beard on when I met her.
But on the stage, I didn't know who she was.
I know on the stage you didn't, but I'm not talking about
she was
that.
Some crazy lesbian.
I saw you walking around. I saw you walking around, and then I asked Garrick. I said, "Who's that girl? Do you know who that girl
the one
is?"
With the beard.
No, she didn't have a beard when she first got there. I said, "Who is that girl?" And he said, "That's Gretchen Bonaduce." And I said, "Really? Oh my God! I have to go talk to her." I couldn't believe how phenomenal. You were the most beautiful woman in the whole place, and I was so excited.
Say that. There were a couple of other beauties.
I think she was the most beautiful in the whole place.
Melissa, he's saying nice things about me.
No, Melissa's very beautiful also.
Oh my God, isn't she? And so lovely. I feel so honored to have met her. We were at a concert for Three Dog Night, who I love. Oh my God, love Three Dog Night. And I met her there.
Hold on. We're talking about Melissa Niederman. Otherwise, people won't know who we're talking about.
Right. Melissa. And I just totally fell in love with her. Such a fun, sweet, giving, all the things she does for charity. She's so wonderful.
Yeah, we love her a lot. But yeah, did you know, and I think I'm going to be correct in this, I will investigate it. That club has been around forever, the Purple Room, but it was in different names. And if I'm not mistaken, Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner both went there in the 1950s when they built it.
Wow.
So kind of maybe when you were on stage, Ava was there sort of saying, "Hey, bitch, you look like me. Take the beard off."
Oh, God, that is such amazing. I've never heard Ava Gardner before, so that's pretty cool.
Look her up. Look her up.
Of course I know who she is. I've just never.
No, I mean, look her up. Get a picture of her that looks similar to a picture that you would take, and you'll see you've got the cheekbones, the eyes, the chin, the mouth. I mean, Ava Gardner to me was one of the most beautiful women in the world. One of them. Sophia Loren's another, who I've had the pleasure making a movie with, so I know what she looks like. She's gorgeous. Sophia Loren has a face that's just.
So hold on, I want to do some more bragging real quick. So besides breaking,
you?
No, I don't ever brag about me. Besides breaking Bonaduce and producing all kinds of shows, you guys have also seen Gretchen on. She's been on Oprah, Phil Donahue, The Love Lounge, The Other Half, Biography, Dr. Phil, The Big Idea with Donnie Deutsch. I don't know if that show's still on. Is that show still on? I'm not sure.
So.
I don't think that one's on, but it was huge at the time. $1 Million Listing, Inside Hollywood, Ex-Wives of Rock, Beverly Hills Pawn, E-True Hollywood Story, Hollywood Hillbillies, and she was the winner of Gimme My Reality Show, which was a Fox thing, right?
It was a Fox reality. Yep. That was amazing. I was up against a bunch of D-listers, but they all came from big shows like American Idol, Baywatch, Kato Kalin was on, Susan Olsen, who, she's kind of more iconic, and she kind of supersedes that sort of level.
Yes.
But anyway, I was on the show, and the concept was you had to shoot a show, and that was what the whole show was about, was shooting your show, and then America got to vote, and somehow I won. And I never in a million years thought I could win, so I just made a complete jackass out of myself on TV. So I'm like, I can't win this anyway, so I might as well just have fun. And somehow I won. It was amazing.
That's why, though. You had fun because you were just having fun.
Now, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
Okay.
Isn't our show the most fun out of all the other ones?
I will tell you, I've never felt more relaxed and having this kind of fun with people. You make everybody feel so comfortable. I did a radio show a couple of weeks ago. It was a complete train wreck. Oh, my God, disaster. I got on, and he just kept making statements. He never asked me one question. He's like, oh, David Cassidy's last words were so much wasted time. And I go, yep, that's what he said.
He was interviewing himself. We are not an interview show. We're a conversation show. Like I tell Jimmy, please tell all our guests, I want them to feel they're in Brooklyn, in my house, in my kitchen, having coffee and Entenmann's crumb cake.
I gotta throw that pizza in. I really feel like
Or Brooklyn. In your case, we'll have in my house in Brooklyn pizza. Or better still, we'll get Ferraro's pizza over in Mafiaville. Where the hell is it? All the hoods go. The best pizza in the world. But anyway, that's what we try to do with our guests. And now they're trying to copy us a lot of shows, and it just doesn't come across because they don't have the honesty and the warmth that we have. We do not blow smoke up anyone's ass in the show. We will not let you come in and go crazy and only bullshit about your things like that are not important because guests don't like it. People that love you today, they're going to love you to death.
They already do. They're all talking about her.
I can't wait to see the hits we get.
You sold at least 2 books since we've been here.
Because you are so open and so honest and so beautiful and so interesting, and you're not full of yourself. And that's what's nice about you. You're a regular girl.
That's all I want to be. I want to contribute to society. I feel, again, so blessed that I've had this life. And even though I have a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of celebrity, I really try to use it for doing good things. You know, I'll show up to anyone's charity. I know for the general public, it doesn't matter that I'm there because it doesn't. I'm not a big enough name. But still, the fact that they invited me and I can go and help, especially with animals, like I've done so many animal charities. That's what I want to do. Like,
we love that.
Yeah, but wait a second. You have a name. Your name is not Joe Schmo from Kokomo, who's nobody. You know?
Actually,
wait a second.
I like that name better. I think I'm going to change it.
I'm never going to compare myself to Johnny Carson. Never. But Johnny Carson was the king of television. But Jimmy and I are the kings of
web shows.
Web shows. Right now, you're on the #1 web show in the world. 4.5 million people are watching right now.
No, not right now. Through syndication.
From all over the world. Little shit-ass Ronnie from Brooklyn and little shit-ass Jimmy from Palm Beach, Florida. Look who we are.
Gretchen Bonaduce.
So, hey, let's go. So let's ask some hypothetical.
The point I'm trying to make is, in our own right, we are somebody more than we would have been had we stayed where we were raised and lived like the rest of our friends. Yeah. So you are somebody, my dear. Never say you're a little this or a little that.
I think you're like the coolest shit ever. First of all, we put the Hollywood Digest is great friends of ours. Thank you so much. And they post all the stuff for our guests, which makes us look really big and terrific. And your actual article, I went and shared it this morning onto Twitter, and it had thousands of likes on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, people love you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You know what? In May, I'm going to interview you for Celebrity Cafe.
Woohoo! I'm in. Can we drink?
Well, it's a telephone interview. It's not a visual.
Oh, okay. Then I can.
Celebrity Cafe has as many readers as People Magazine. It's the web show.
It's the oldest. It's the oldest celebrity online magazine publication,
and I'm honored to be one of their writers.
And we write for it.
I just finished doing Lainey Kazan and Sally Kirkland, a whole bunch of people.
So hold on, though.
So
okay.
I probably could.
So we'll get you.
Hang on. About May, I will contact you sometime in May.
We're going to see her a lot. We're going to see her in 2 weeks at the Oscar Gala. You guys, it's Samira's Network Oscar Gala.
You're coming?
It's on February.
Yes.
It's on February
fabulous.
24th. It's on February 24th. You guys can go to oscargala.org to get tickets for it. Gretchen's going to be there. Chad Lindbergh, Eileen Shapiro, Tom Sizemore, Corey Feldman, Robert Craighead, Adrian Wilkinson, Ron and I, Caroline Williams, TJ Storm, Christian Kane, Richard Grieco, Ray Wise, Michael Copon, and then like 100 other celebrities. And
we're walking the red carpet with our good friend.
Who?
Sean Kanan.
Oh, yeah, Sean Kanan's going to walk the red carpet.
And his wife, Michelle.
I'm going to write it, yes.
So it's going to be a good party. Now, who are you wearing?
I think I'm going to wear Paula 2. Do you guys know Paula 2 from Beverly Hills? Oh,
no,
they'll be at the party. You guys are going to love them. Patrick and Paul are my closest friends. I'm not sure yet. I have to go into his boutique. He has a boutique in Beverly Hills, and I'm going to look through his new collection and pick something from that. So I'll be wearing a Paula 2.
Remember now, you're dark-haired, so you want to look vibrant.
Yes.
a beautiful red, a beautiful.
She looks so good in red. That's the red. She's in red on the promo that we did for the show. She looks gorgeous.
All brunettes. Jane Russell wore red. I mean, gentlemen.
So hang on. So also remember, you got to let me know because there's also another party, you guys, Wednesday night, the 20th, the info list pre-Oscar soiree at the Sky Bar at the Mondrian Hotel, and you got to get back to me if you want to go to that.
That's a good event.
Because that's a good one. That's another red carpet one.
It's a big shot event. A lot of biggies are there, and we have a lot of fun because we get a little high and crazy. We drink.
You got to admit it. So, all right. We've only got a couple minutes left, so let's do this. First of all, let's do some hypotheticals. Okay, so you're a band. First of all, what's your band's? What's the 3 most favorite songs to play as an '80s cover band, or most requested?
Okay, definitely. I Melt With You, Modern English. I Love Rock and Roll, Joan Jett.
Joan Jett, yes.
Anything by Journey, people go crazy. And they also love Jesse's Girl, always big.
Oh my God, Rick Springfield! I love Rick Springfield.
Right. They love it. So that was really 4, but yeah, those are the ones that you can get everyone on the dance floor with any of those songs.
And if you were going to like go and play with there was going to be a huge festival. And you could play with anybody that you haven't played with before. Who are 3 acts that you'd be like, okay, I want to play with these 80s acts?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Depeche Mode.
Oh, yeah.
House. And I love Yaz.
Oh, my God, me too.
Yeah, She would be fun. That would be cool.
Situation.
I haven't a clue. So
I love Dallas Moye, all her solo stuff I have, and I used to love Yaz. They had the big song Everybody's Situation, which was a huge, huge hit back in the day. And Depeche Mode, like especially when they first came out, like People Are People, Blasphemous Rumors, Depeche Mode, that was like the best.
Yeah, Enjoy the Silence was such a great album.
Oh, absolutely.
But I love the 80s. I just think it was the best music. Now you have to take the hair bands out because I don't care for any of those. But the all the 80s new wave was so good. Flock of Seagulls and Duran Duran and Depeche Mode and oh gosh, I love the goth people a lot. We used to do a little bit of goth, but it never goes over well, like Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy the Silence. I know, Enjoy the Silence, that's Depeche Mode.
But you have to remember,
I saw Sisters of Mercy back in the day.
Remember one thing. In the 80s, I was in my 40s. So it was very hard for me to boogie on down. But in my 60s and 70s, I rocked. But when I got to be 80s, I thought, cool a little bit. I still like the Temptations.
Wait, how come you don't like the hair bands? I would have thought you kind of liked the hair bands.
No.
I thought she meant hair bands for her head.
No.
I didn't. I don't like. I mean,
so no Motley Crue.
No.
Or Poison or none of that. Okay.
No. No, I don't think that's good music, but that's just me. I mean, I get that millions and millions of people love it and it's great for them, but no, I was way more new wave and The Cure and The Cult. The Cure and The Cult. Oh my God, those.
The Cure is the best.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love The Cure. I saw him in concert in New Orleans in the 80s. It was fabulous.
I must have been in a coma.
Is my favorite song to do.
Oh my God, Just Like Heaven is such a good song.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What else I like to do is Till Tuesday, Voices Carry. That goes over really big too. People like that.
I love Till Tuesday, and this is the coolest thing because I tweet with her, Amy Mann, once in a while. I love Amy Mann to death. She doesn't follow me back, which upsets me, but I would never say anything bad about her. Her first solo album that she did when she left Till Tuesday had a song on it called Mr. Harris, and it was all about a May-September relationship about a guy and a girl where the girl's really young and the guy's like silver hair.
Darling, you're not really young.
And I know, but I absolutely love that whole album, and I love that song, Mr. Harris. To me, it's like one of the greatest songs ever. And Amy Mann, I mean, I know she's had great success now, doing soundtracks and all these other things, but I wish Till Tuesday would like get back together and like do like a reunion tour or something. It would be the coolest thing ever.
Did you see her at the White House? Obama invited her, and she did a lot of songs from Magnolia. She did the soundtrack for that movie. So great. Incredible singer, incredible lyricist. She's just... yeah, she's incredible. Love her.
Oh my God, we would get along so good with music taste. I love everything that she. I do like some of the hairband stuff.
Well, that's because she's a little younger than you.
Actually, just because.
How old are you?
I'm 54.
54.
Like I'm friends. I'm friends. Like I 54. I always liked Rat because I'm friends with Bobby Blotzer and he's the drummer for Rat, and so I always kind of liked Rat and some of those bands. But I like the new wave stuff way better than I like the rock stuff.
Well, I know a lot of the hair band people just personally from, events and stuff that I've done. And I love them all. They're so sweet. So I hope they're not offended that I don't like their music.
I know they won't.
I like
But
them. They're cool.
I'm far luckier than the both of you. You know why?
Why?
I knew the music of the 1940s, 50s,
best.
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, up to today. I'm 78 years old. So I've been around a lot of music all my life, and I'm lucky enough to have met so many of the great performers like Johnny Mathis. I know and I love him. There's just so many great performers out there.
So who's-
wait, I got to mention my love, my sweet girl. If I remember her name, We Are Family.
Oh, he loves Sister Sledge.
Sister
Oh,
Sledge.
Sister Sledge, yeah. Now,
She's a dream. I love it. Did you ever meet her?
Yeah,
Did
great
you ever?
stories. Have you written a book about all your Hollywood experiences? Because
They want
I
me to.
read it.
They want. I will soon. But I have to say, Kathy Sledge, I love you, Kathy, and I miss not living in Pennsylvania, being your neighbor next door.
This is
Kathy Sledge is one of the most talented, beautiful voices, lovely, beautiful, gorgeous, sweet, terrific women.
quick story,
love you,
Gretchen. So
Kathy.
we went to a movie premiere when we lived in Pennsylvania, and it was a TV series, a new
Love
TV
her.
series in Philadelphia. And so Ron and I were separated, and we were networking and meeting everybody and having a good time. And all of a sudden, I hear him screaming, "Jimmy, Jimmy, come here, Jimmy, Jimmy!" And I went over there, and he's jumping up and down, and he's like, "Meet this. This is Kathy Sledge from Sister Sledge. We Are Family." I mean, the guy meets like Academy Award winners and A-list biggest people on the planet all the time, and he never has a freaking reaction whatsoever. And he meets Kathy Sledge from We Are Family, and he was like a 2-year-old in a candy store. It was hilarious.
Because I love her. I love her music. And then I invited her, she and her husband, to our house for dinner. And she said, "Would you mind if I brought," now get ready for this one, hang on to your panties. "Would you mind if I brought Patti LaBelle?" And I fell down on the floor.
Oh
because he
my
loves
God.
Patti LaBelle
Patti
too.
LaBelle is my
Nice.
idol. So
That's
I
a
absolutely
great
had a
song.
heart attack.
And she was actually Kathy Sledge was our very first television episode of the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Kathy Sledge was our guest.
Yeah,
She was our very
she's-
first
what
guest
a
when we went from
sweetie.
radio
She
to TV.
She is one of the nicest human beings that the aliens ever made.
All right.
So
So
we-
you know who I had at my house for dinner one night?
Oh.
Lemmy from Motor.
Oh, Lemmy
I have-
Kilmister. I met him at the Dance
Oh,
Star
who's
USA
that?
Awards.
Who's that?
He's a rock god. He's like
Yeah, a rock
He's like-
god.
he's like a god, like unbelievable. And so I got invited to walk the red carpet at the Dance Star USA Awards with Paris Hilton and Nick Carter and like all these people, and Lemmy was there, and I got to meet him, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't even believe it!" You know,
Well, I
that I
got
actually got to
notes
meet.
before he got there. I had to nothing with onions, like, 'cause I love to cook, so I made like a big meal. So I had all the things he didn't like. I had to have a bottle of Jack Daniels. There was like all these things that I needed for him to come over. It was worth it. It was fun.
Oh no, it would be the coolest thing ever. So let's do one more hypothetical question. Since
Okay.
you have been in a movie, because I saw you were in a movie.
Uh-oh, this one's not going to be good.
Don't worry, I got
America's
one too.
Deadliest Home Video
Oh,
or
I
something.
was afraid you were going to say that one.
That's okay. In
No.
general, let's say you're an actress now, and you could, because you've done a whole bunch of stuff and you're on TV. You could be in any film that's ever been made and play any character. What movie would you have liked to have been in as an actress, and who would you like to star opposite? What male person would be
That's
fun for you to
so-
star? And they could be living or dead.
So easy. It has to be Gone with the Wind. I would love to be Vivian Lee in Gone with the Wind.
Oh my God,
and,
how cool!
Let's see, the male lead. Oh, I guess. Who's the guy that was killed in the car crash in the Corvette? He was in Giant.
James Dean.
Yes, I would like to be Vivian Lee, and I would like James Dean to be my Rhett Butler.
But James Dean was gay. So wouldn't have
Well,
gotten far. You wouldn't have gotten
That's
far.
okay. Yeah, well, I'd still like to, have had an interaction.
Shouldn't have to sleep with
But
everybody.
we all have stinkeroos. I have a film called Croker that my friends buy and they sit and they go hysterical laughing at. It's like an evening of goofing on Ron. I'm
Yeah.
good. Film is so bad, but I
Well,
was.
I'm just not a good actress. It wasn't that the film was bad. It was the first time I'd ever done a movie. Danny had just been arrested, and we had to get permission to leave the state so he could film this movie. It was like a low budget indie film, kind of one of the first indie films ever. And so they offered me the part to play his wife, which I was his wife at the time. So I thought, okay, I could do this. I think I could do it. But it meant I had to be topless, which I was not comfortable with, but I ended up doing it anyway. And it was like so horrifying. I don't even want to see that. I bet my boobs looked so, it was before my boob job. So it was probably not.
Yeah, but wait a minute. They gave you $500 extra for showing boobs. Did they?
Oh,
Maybe not back then.
I don't think I got paid at all. Actually.
No, today, if an actress shows her
In
boobs,
those indie films, you usually get like $500 more now to show your boobs.
A friend of ours just did a nude in the film, and she got $1,000
A bump. They call it a bump. It just depends on what they negotiate.
because she showed her whole naked body.
Well,
Anyway.
here's what I'd like to do. Maybe not act because I'm not sure I'm very good at it as much as I want to be, and I try to learn. But maybe I'll just be stunt boobs. Maybe if I don't have to show my face, I can just be the stunt boobs. That might work.
I love it. All right, everybody. So we're gonna have to go. So Gretchen Bonaduce is in social media as Gretchen Bonaduce. You can follow her on Instagram. You can follow her on Twitter. It's GretchenBonaduce. We're gonna see you soon. I can't wait to actually see you again live and in person. Anytime you got anything cool to promote, let us know. We'll have you come back.
And when you come to Palm Springs, contact us. We'll have you over.
I would
Yeah, we
love
wanna come
that
for
so
dinner.
much.
And I'll make pizza for your boyfriend. Booking
Oh, but not for me. I see how this goes.
no. For you, whatever you want. I mean, usually the girls eat nothing. They come here, they eat a salad, and that frustrates me. But
Wow,
the guys eat like
piece of pie.
cake, huh? No, the guy.
Salad, bring me a piece of pie. I don't.
There you go. She loves it. All right, everybody. So that's Gretchen Bonaduce. Gretchen, thank you so
for
much.
having me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
A pleasure,
See you
my
soon.
sweet.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Gretchen.
You
Good
gotta
luck and
like
everything.
love it.
Bye,
She's
honey.
fabulous. Bye-bye.
See you next week.
Absolutely.
Night.
So then, I don't know. Oh, I don't know how I think you can hang yourself up. Just hit the red button that ends.
Oh, okay. I'm trying.
It's okay.
You gotta love it. All right, everybody.
We're off the air.
No, we're not off the
We're
air.
still on the air.
No, she doesn't. She hasn't.
I got it.
Bye.
Bye, Gretchen.
Thank you.
What an interesting lady, and she was very open and honest. I like that. But Danny Bonaduce, I'm Italian too. Danny Bonaduce, when I met him years ago, he was a very down-to-earth, regular guy. He was nice. I liked him a lot.
I'm happy he's happy now and
But
all's going well.
I guess I met him when he was married to her, because that's how many. I met him about 40 years ago. Maybe he was a kid. He was maybe like 19 or 20.
Okay, so hang on. So everybody listen up too. We're going to the Oscar Gala. It's on February 24th. It's in Universal City. If you want to go and you live in the area, go to oscargala.org, and there's a link to hit on events, and you can actually buy tickets if you'd like to go. There's going to be over 100 really cool celebrities there. Going to be a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. We also want to let everybody know you can hear the Jimmy Star Show every week on W4CY Radio. We're on from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific time or 3 to 5 Eastern time. You can also hear us on K4HD Radio in LA, Hit 1069 FM in New York, Jackalope Radio in St. Louis, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbeam, Audio Boom, Podomatic, Apple TV, and Spreaker. On television, we're on Vimeo, YouTube, Roku, and Comcast On Demand, and Twitch. We're adding Twitch. So you can see us on all of those. Let's do a little quick conversation with our man, Scott, real quick. Scott, you there? So some of the people in the chat room said they heard the music, and some of them didn't. So I'm not sure. Dee, maybe you can chime in too, because we got to call our next guest in 3 minutes.
So what happened is that if you're looking at the video, then yes, you could hear it. But if you were just listening to the audio, you couldn't hear it. But we figured it all out, and we're going to be able to hear it on both ends.
Okay, good. So then we're going to play a different Gretchen Bonaduce song just so people can hear it. Oh, no, we can't. We have to play the Art of the Dead trailer, because that's the movie that our next guest is going to be in. So we're going to play the Art of the Dead trailer, but we got another 2 minutes before we have to call her.
I have to say, I enjoyed that movie.
Yes, it's a good movie.
I thought.
And she's gorgeous, and she's super gorgeous. And
she looks like Kim Novak, young Kim Novak.
there you go. I wonder if she knows who Kim Novak is, because she's pretty young.
You know, I hate this world I live in. I mean, I know everybody, and nobody knows who I know. What am I?
Let's ask him. You thought he was a kid. Do you know who Kim Novak is, Scott? Anytime I get to meet any like rock legends, like I hung out with who's the guy from Guns N' Roses, Steven Adler. I got to hang out with Steven Adler and went to dinner with him one time. Anytime I get to like meet all those people, I mean, Lemmy is such an icon. Ron doesn't know him, but like it doesn't even get any bigger than that.
Oh yeah, I was so sad when she said she wasn't an '80s hair metal baby, and I'm just like, ugh, that's so.
Okay, so who do you like that's '80s hair metal? Who do you actually like a lot? Danielle. Ooh, I got the Danielle.
Queen is more 70s. It is more 70s, but I love AC/DC. I saw AC/DC with Poison, Def Leppard, Whitesnake.
Yeah, I like all those. I like Whitesnake a lot.
Oh, I know. Whitesnake is one of my favorites.
Hold on, and Scott, what about you? What kind of music? Like, do you listen to any '80s music?
Ugh.
Oh yeah, and
One of my favorites.
Metallica. The guy from Metallica has the biggest, coolest horror collection on the planet. One of those guys. I don't know which one, but I read it in a magazine. I know it was one of the guys from Metallica. James Hetfield. James Hetfield. Yeah, he's got a fucking awesome one. All right, so we're going to call our next guest. So here's what we're going to do, everybody who's watching and checking it all out. We're going to play the actual trailer for the film Art of the Dead, of which our next guest is the star of the film. Her name is Alex Reinhardt, and then we're going to try and get her on the phone, and hopefully it all goes smoothly. So here it is, everybody, the trailer for the brand new horror film Art of the Dead.
Richie, Elizabeth! Richie, Elizabeth! Come see what I got! So raw, so primal.
And finally, the highlight of tonight, a stunning collection of these 7 masterpieces.
What do you think, Gina?
The animal series.
Yes, I know, last chance.
Do we have any other bidders?
Well, it is for a good cause.
And sold to the Wilsons.
7 paintings, 7 sins, all represented by Anna. I've tracked these paintings for years, and every owner that has had them in his or her possession has disappeared or worse.
If thy eye offends thee.
You have to give me the Wilsons' address where those paintings were sent.
And you need to leave my gallery before I call the cops.
Call the police and I'll tell them you're responsible for what happened to Murray Trenton last night.
Oh my God! Murray!
That's what I call a masterpiece.
The Dead, the trailer for the cool horror movie Ron and I went and saw in Beverly Hills a few weeks ago, and now we have one of the stars of the film on the line. Her name is Alex Reinhardt. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi, guys. I'm so excited.
I love it. So let me do introductions for everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, honey. Now, is it necessary to see?
What?
Take off the glasses. You're so beautiful. I want everybody to see.
Oh, I like the glasses.
No, there. Now you see my Kim Novak. No, now you see Kim Novak. Now you see my beautiful movie star. No, men don't make passes at girls that wear glasses.
I bet they make passes at her. I love the glasses. I think they're fabulous.
I think without the glasses. Look, now you see the cheekbones, the beautiful eyes. You know, I was so impressed with you in that film. Your acting and your beautiful face and the way you staged yourself. You were very professional. Most of those films stink. You know, they're amateurish and the people don't know how to act and they don't hit their marks. And, you know, you could, a veteran like me, 58 years in the business, I could see everything wrong in the film. Your performance was great. I didn't find one thing wrong with you. You kept your voice level. You really acted well. You weren't overly done. You weren't corny. You were totally natural. And
let's finish introducing her though before like you do all of that.
What? We introduced her, didn't we?
No, we have to like say hi to everybody. It's like we have a chat room full of people. There's like almost every country on the planet, and Dave Hughes, who's our resident perv, wants to know who you are because of how beautiful you are. Her name is Alex Reinhardt. He's in the UK, and he comes in, and every time we have a beautiful girl, he makes nice comments, but he's still our resident perv.
But he's a pig because he's married, and he's just a terrible guy.
And they're all talking. He just wrote he's in love again. Forget Sadie.
Forget my Sadie.
Do you know Sadie Katz? She's one of our favorite people in the world, and she's a horror movie actress icon. And she's in a bunch of cool films. And
I just did a movie with her,
and he just replaced you with her. But anyway, we've also got our people behind the boards. We have Scott, who's in Pennsylvania. Scott, say hi. You can't see him. You can just see him and hear him. And then we have Danielle, who's in West Palm Beach. So say hi, Danielle.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you go.
Nice.
That was good,
Danielle. Good, Danielle. Very good.
So you guys, this is Alex Reinhardt. She's an actress, a transplant to L.A. She's incredibly talented. She's incredibly gorgeous. Like I said, she was in the film that we saw in Beverly Hills. It's called Art of the Dead. Stars Tara Reid, Richard Grieco, Sarah French, I'm bringing up just because we know her, Jessica Morris, Robert Donovan, who's also going to come on the show. But you actually are like the lead person, really, like in the film, and you did an excellent job. So how long have you been in Hollywood? How long ago did you move, and where did you move from?
3 years I've been here, and I'm from Iowa. Ooh, go Hawks.
I almost went to Upper Iowa University on a tennis scholarship, and I was like, there's just no way I'm going to school in Iowa.
Yeah. There were some people who from California. There was a girl in my freshman year who was living right next door to me, and she's from Miami. I didn't understand that. I'm like, why are you here? Why are you in Iowa? There's so many cool things where you're at. But
I was actually born in Miami. So what did your family think of you packing up and like taking off to live the Hollywood dream?
Well, my mom, she actually was an actor when she was my age, and she didn't move out to California, but she did theater and improv, so she was totally on board. She's a dreamer like I am. My dad's more of a realist, so he took a little bit more
to get going.
Yeah, a little bit more getting used to it, but they're very supportive.
I love it.
Are they pushing you for marriage and children so they could have grandchildren?
You know what? No, not really, actually, thank goodness, because I don't see that really happening anytime soon. My sister just got married, though, on the other hand, so...
Let her have the kids. You'll take the Oscar, let her have the kids.
She
froze.
I know she's okay.
Now you're back.
So tell us a little bit... I
want to talk a little bit about the film you're in. It's a very interesting... But first, let me go back to how I met Richard Grieco. Okay, I went into the men's room to pee, and as I'm peeing, Richard Grieco came next to me and he began to pee. And as he was peeing, I said, "Listen, my name is Ron Russell. I have a TV show. I'd like you to." He thought I was out of my mind. I'm promoting and I'm booking him on the show while the both of us are peeing. Now
talented.
Now, this is the truth, Richard will tell you. So we stopped peeing. Now we're at the sink. I don't let up. I said, I'm not kidding you. I'm not hitting on you. I'm not crazy. I want you to come on our show. So he just looked at me like I was nuts. And then as I kept speaking to him, he understood that I wasn't some kind of a weird gay pervo that was going to pick him up while he's peeing. So he then consented and said, yeah, but I haven't heard from him. Have you approached Richard?
Mm-hmm. He's going to be at the Oscar party we're going to.
Oh, good. Then I'll really torture him in the bathroom
So
again.
let me ask you a question. Did you even know, because you're very young.
He's my piss partner, so he's got to come on the show.
Let me ask you a question, Alex, because you're very young. Did you even know who Richard Grieco was? Because you're not really from the generation of Booker and... Like he was on 21 Jump Street and Booker.
He made, these people made movies. If you watch Turner Classics, you'll see so many movies of great stars. And this is what I love about Europe. In Europe, Italy especially, talk about an opera. They know who sang it 100 years ago. They know everything. They revere people. America is disposable. I mean, legendary people that I have met, friends of mine that say they couldn't get work. I'm talking about Cliff Robertson, Academy Award winner.
She's young, though. She might not know who any of these.
She knows who Cliff Robertson is.
I bet not. Do you know who Cliff Robertson is? No, right?
No, I do, actually.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't actually know who Richard Grieco was.
Like Booker and 21 Jump Street were like huge. They were like the Beverly Hills 90210, of my generation.
Do you know who Jane Russell is?
Yeah.
Okay, Jane was a good friend of mine, a buddy. We hung. So I said to her, I can get you work. She said, Ron, I can't. I don't remember lines and I'm deaf. She said, and nobody wants me. They wanted me when I was beautiful, glamorous, and sexy. What are they going to do with an old lady? And I said, you're not an old lady. You're a beautiful 89-year-old woman. But she just felt that the business passed her by.
So wait, go back to Art of the Dead.
My question. So how do you feel about that? Like being old and working in films 30, 40 years from now?
Oh, I would love that. I think that's so cool. I mean, it really just shows how passionate you are about the craft. If you just do it for life, right? Like it's a lifestyle.
So you would play a grandmother?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You're not vain like a lot of stars. They wouldn't play. Lana Turner had trouble playing a mother to Sandra Dee, because I knew Lana Turner and she just thought that she was too young looking to be Sandra Dee's mother in the film Midnight Lace. No. Not Midnight Lace. Forgot that was Doris Day's film. Anyway.
So hang on, go back. So Art of the Dead.
Egos sometimes get in the way of a good job.
Yeah. Actually was like, she's like, I would love to come out there and do like a dream team duo with you. She's like, but I don't know if I'll get any parts because I'm older and they always cast young women. I'm like, no, come here, live with me.
No, it's not true.
Fun.
I'm 78. I just shot a movie with Sadie Katz called Clown Road, and now I'm doing
Circus Road,
and now I'm doing 2 other movies in the next couple of months. So, and I'm 78, so tell your mother it's never too old.
That's right. She's just got to come out and do it. So I want to give props first to the Mahal brothers, whose movie Art of the Dead is that invited us, because they're really like nice guys, and they've actually put out a ton. They're putting out a ton of really good material, and they make films that are not really highly budgeted with a whole lot of money, but the quality is way above other people's films.
Like
doing the same thing. Hang on.
The DP. You're segueing into where I'm going.
Okay.
The DP. The night of the premiere, I told him was absolutely fabulous. His work is clear, beautifully filmed, centered, doesn't get me dizzy. His camera told a story. He was brilliant. That little boy or little man is going to go places.
So wait, do you like horror movies? Like, do you watch horror movies?
I used to be like deathly afraid of horror movies. I couldn't watch it. Yeah, but then I think in college, I started watching the TV show Supernatural, and then I was able to kind of ease my way into it, and then all of a sudden, oh, hello, are you guys still there?
Yes, we're here.
Okay. And then I was able to ease my way into horror movies, and then I just fell in love.
Good.
I love horror movies.
It's my favorite genre. Like, I love horror movies, and you kind of are at least for breaking into acting through the horror genre is a terrific way to get started. Number one, because they always want talented actresses. You're very attractive, so that helps a lot. You've already kind of got a niche, because I saw you did another movie called The Black Room with a lot of really famous people, which we should tell everybody real quick. So she also is in a movie that came out in 2017, which would have been when you first got to Hollywood, practically.
Yeah, it was the first year that I was here. It was actually pretty crazy because I auditioned for it, but it wasn't for the part that I have in the movie now. It was actually I just went on to LA Casting and would just submit to anything and everything, and I just got this random audition. It was one line, like 3 words. And it was a block audition. So it was from like 2 to 4, anyone could show up, and it was a group audition. And it was just to improv off of all the other people in this group scene. And when I showed up, no one else was there. And I was like, okay, and it was like 15 minutes went by and still like no one was there. I'm like, oh gosh, like I had another audition that I was going to later. And so I'm like, oh crap, I'll just like one woman wing show this thing. And I just got up there and did it. And they're like, wow, we love that. Like, you got the part. And then like a week later, they were casting for a bigger part that I fit the description for. And they called me and they're like, hey, you actually fit the description for this part. We loved what you did with the audition. Would you want to audition? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's a bigger part. And so then I got the part from just a 1-line audition.
And this film has a lot of cool people in it. We know a lot of people in it. It's got Natasha Henstridge, which you know. It has Augie Duke, who's a very good friend of ours.
Augie, who just won Best Actress for her film.
It's got James Duval, who was on our show, Lynn Shay, who was on our show, Victoria Demare, who's getting ready to come on our show, Alyssa Dowling, who's getting ready to come on our show, Nick Principe, who's been on our show, Tiffany Shepis, who's also been on our show. So it's got like all these like iconic people in horror, and for like a kind of like a first film, that's like a really great film to get into.
Thank you.
Years ago, when you saw a premiere film, they had a box in the lobby, which was a suggestion box for the people who saw the film to write what they thought was good or what was wrong with the film. I wish you would tell whoever's editing your film to please edit out the priest with the crucifix going up to the painting. That is so Bela Lugosi, Dracula, 1932. It totally turned me off, and it gave me a bump in the film. I hated it. I thought that ruined so much of the mood of what he was doing. It was, going up to a painting with a crucifix, it was just so stupid. They have to remove that.
And even though he was a great actor.
He's a terrific
great actor.
And a nice fella, too. I think he's coming on.
He's going to be coming on soon,
He's coming on
too.
also. But other than that, the film was beautifully done and well. And you know what? People are going to think I'm crazy. I've seen horror movies where the jerks don't know how to run. Okay? Seriously, they're being chased by. I know the set is 10 by 20, okay? So you have to make it look like you're in a 100-foot room. So you have to know how to pace yourself to run. And that's what I was looking at with you, because you did a lot of running in this film, in this big house. And I said to myself, she runs beautifully. She knows how to run to look scared. No, seriously. I mean, there's a movie that I saw where the girl was running up the road, and I thought she had to, go to the bathroom or something. She was looking for a toilet. That's what I got from it, because she was being chased by a killer clown, and it was just so. I mean,
it wasn't believable like yours was.
No, it was like she was running like she was hot and sexy. I can't explain it. It wasn't like yours. Yours was a young girl. No, you were a young girl who discovered things and was frightened and was trying to be not there. And that's what was good about what you did. So I suspect that horror movies is not going to be your forte. I think somebody's going to see you and snap you up and put you in a major film. And then when you're a superstar and I say hi and you look at me and say, "Who are you, you old creep?" I'll say, you don't remember me?
Bathroom.
Right. Right.
I love it. I actually agree with him. I think that horror is a great way for you to get started and get known, and you can become a great horror actress, but I think you will also eventually branch out. You did another film called...
wait, hang on a second. I also suggested to a very dear friend of mine who's a big producer, who's making 3 or 4 very good horror films, high quality, a couple of $1 million films about you. And he's very interested in you. So you may be getting a call and you may be casted in one of them. Because we've
been pushing you.
And he trusts my taste. He knows that I know shit from Shinola.
We always push everybody who we think is cool who's on our show. So anytime anybody comes to us, because people come to me often knowing that we know people from the show and that I can get in touch with the people without having to go through agents.
Anyway, you may be in one of his 3 films, and that's good because I'm in those films. So we may have a scene together, which would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I would enjoy that. That would be great. That would be fun.
So also then you have a film, Canaan Land. Is that a horror film?
No, actually, it's a drama / love story / interesting depiction of religion in today's society.
I love it because, first of all, this is another... I mean, you haven't had tons of work, but considering you're only there 3 years and you're in all these films and you have good roles in all these films, this movie also has all kinds of famous people. First of all, it's got Donna Lee Heising, who's been on our show, so I just mentioned her because she's been on our show. It's got Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley, Lou Gossett Jr., Kathy Coleman, who's from Land of the Lost. I love that show. Linda Carter, who was Wonder Woman, and it's got Sally Kirkland, who was a good friend of Ron's.
Yeah, I love Sally. When you do when they have the premiere of this film, the red carpet, invite us because I want to see the film, the drama you're doing.
It hasn't come out yet, has it, Canaan Land?
Oh no, it hasn't. I'll definitely let you guys know. And
Yeah, because I want to see your work in a drama. So we'll gladly come and see your film.
So let's do some hypotheticals. You've been in Hollywood for 3 years. You're a movie buff. Let's do 2 different hypotheticals. One, if you could be in any movie that you've ever would want to be in, what movie would you want to be in? And then think about it as a horror movie also. What horror movie would you like to have been in? And what regular movie would you like to have been in? And then in the back of your mind, be thinking, who's like a leading man that you think would be totally awesome to like act opposite? Go.
She froze. No, it's the frame froze.
No, the screen actually froze for a second. Okay, so go. What movie would you like to be in?
Yeah, I think the screen's freezing again. I need I need a little second here.
Yeah.
No, so a movie that's already made. Correct.
It could be any movie that's ever been made in history, so it doesn't have to be anything current. What movie would you have liked to have been in, and what horror movie would you like to have been in? And then who's the leading man that you would think would be totally cool to like act opposite? And who's a co-starring woman? We might as well go all the way.
Ooh, okay.
You can answer in any order you want. Go.
Okay. First thing that pops into my head, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Because I'm a little bit of a nerd. I love sci-fi and fantasy. And I've always kind of had this like dream of being an elf.
Okay. That's a good answer.
That would really be hard to cast you as an elf. I don't think they ever will. I doubt it.
They could though. Lord of the Rings had tall elves.
Yeah, but she's too pretty and beautiful with a beautiful smile.
Now they put these pointy ears on her.
I know, but nobody would want to disfigure her that way.
Okay, so go ahead. What's the horror movie that we want to be in?
Ooh. I have it. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's my mom's favorite horror movie and mine as well. It has the whole Jodie Foster in it and the
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster in a horror movie?
Yeah.
It was a suspense movie where her daughter's locked in a room of protection and she's a diabetic.
No, but I've seen that. That's also good.
That's Panic Room.
Panic Room, right. That's what I was. Jodie Foster in a scary movie?
Yes. And then there's Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah. That's a good movie.
A very scary movie.
That's a freaking awesome movie.
Yeah, I would say that's beyond horror.
I like that one. Okay, and so who's the male counterpart that you'd be like, oh my God, I'd love to act opposite this person?
Okay. I kind of want to say Brad Pitt just because he's done so many different characters. Could I do someone that, well, I also think of this is kind of like weird, but I think Jack Lemmon, if that
yes.
was like,
I love Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, I think that would be so much fun. You know.
I know, I like Jack Lemmon too.
And in person, he was the sweetest guy in the world. He was a nice fella, as was Tony Curtis, because Tony Curtis was a good friend of mine. You don't know who he is either.
No, I do.
Oh, you do know Tony Curtis?
Some like it, put you together.
Some like it hot. Yes, there you go. I love
Tony
it.
was the funniest man I have ever met.
And who's a female that you would like to act opposite of? And please don't say Meryl Streep. Even if you want to say it, you can say it. But please, like Meryl Streep's so overdone.
Oh, I mean, everyone would say that, you know.
No, say Glenn Close, because she's going to win the Oscar this year for The Wife. That's who I voted for, Glenn Close in The Wife. She was brilliant. Study that movie. You could.
I like Charlize Theron.
Hang on. Study Glenn Close's eyes when they come in for the close-up, when they reveal the secret of her husband. You can tell the entire story from. I've never seen eyes tell a story in my life in film like Glenn Close. She was absolutely, silently, still, powerfully acting. Now that's an actress. When you don't move, when you don't do a thing, but yet you're acting, learn that craft. That's so important.
Did you see The Wife? You need to see The Wife.
Did you see The Wife?
It's a phenomenal movie.
Oh, dear God. You're an actress? You didn't see The Wife? Oh, please. I mean, I'm learning lessons from Glenn Close, and I'm a guy. I mean, I watched it. And
It's a fabulous
I
movie.
saw her moves. I mean, she's absolutely beyond brilliant in it. Probably one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in film in my 78 years. I mean, she really did this one. And that's why she's going to win the Oscar. And if she doesn't win the Oscar, you're going to see me throw the table at.
You gotta love it.
I have to behave. We're at the Oscars, so I'm gonna yell out, "No, Glenn Close is the winner, you motherfuckers! No!"
Anyway,
they'll kick me right out of the Oscars.
now you should actually though. It really is. It's a great film. It's a great film. Everybody could learn from. It's a great story, and definitely you should see it.
It was brilliantly done. Everything about it was incredible. The filming, the staging, the male actor was incredible. It was just, when magic happens in a film and everything goes beautifully, that's what this film was. It was from beginning to end perfection. I would see it again. I love it.
So how come you don't tweet? You have a Twitter. You guys can follow Alex on Twitter. It's at Alex_Reinhardt, Reinhart. She's only done one tweet since 2011, and that was telling everybody she was coming on the show.
It paused. Sorry,
there you
for a
go.
second.
That's okay. So you guys, why don't you need to tweet? Because you can get all kinds of acting roles and stuff by tweeting. That's how we get involved in everything. It's all done through Twitter.
Yeah.
We meet people. You need to be on Twitter, tweeting all the time, and then your Instagram. You're more active on Instagram. You're just Alex Reinhardt on Instagram, right? With no underscore.
I think Alex is word of mouth. All of us that tweet, we're pushing, hard. But when you do work like she does, at least from the one film, I mean, she may stink in the next film, I don't know. But when the work that I saw you do, that's word of mouth. And that's how you're going to go places. Now, if ever they do the Kim Novak life story, you wearing a pure white wig, short, like she did, behind the ears, and the makeup, you could play Kim Novak in a minute to look like her, even her smile. Do you know who Kim Novak is?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, good. Thank God.
No.
That's actually unusual, though. That's unusual because we get a lot of people who come on who are significantly older than you, and they don't know who anybody is. So you're relatively well groomed in movies and stars.
Years ago, when I had my TV show Set the Record Straight, where I interviewed all the great legends of Hollywood, I mean the big names, I used to go to colleges and do lectures. And I was at one college doing a lecture, and I was talking about, I forgot who it was, let's say, I forgot who it was. And this guy in front of me looked like a dead face. And I said, you don't know who
was
that
Barbara
is?
Streisand.
No, that was the question I asked.
Oh, okay.
I said, you don't know who I'm talking about? He said, no. I said, do you know who Barbara Streisand is? He said, I've heard of her. And I thought to myself, our business is missing something because we do not teach young actors what the old, in other words, you're standing on the shoulders of Kim Novak and great actors and actresses, if you understand what that means, standing on the shoulders of. Do you understand what that means?
Sorry, I paused again. I'm kind of up in the mountaintops where I live.
Oh, okay. I said, you young actors are standing on the shoulders of older actors. And you could learn, and it's nice to know who they were and study them, because every actor, Clark Gable brings something to the stage, Marilyn Monroe brings something to the stage. Every actor had a little bit of something that you could steal and use and become better and bigger. Don't be a see-through actress. Be an actress that has a personality that I could say, I'm casting, I want Alex because she's got what I'm looking for. That's how you're going to be a superstar. Because the talent you've got, the acting you can do the acting. It's just you have to do the selling. Yeah. And that's the most difficult.
So do you have an agent?
I have a commercial agent right now.
Okay.
But that's it. I've gone through, 2 managers, I think, since I've been here. And I've just found that I get most work on my own because
That's the same with us. We get more work on our own than we do by having anybody try to do it. I want to
tell you the secret. Let me tell you a secret. Over the years, I've worked with managers to get their stars on my show. They screwed it up every time, and the star never got on the show. Now, I went to a cocktail party, and I would say to the star, how come you didn't come on my show? We couldn't work it out. Don't talk to my manager, Ron. Call me directly. Deal with me. He's an idiot. Managers can destroy careers, and I've seen it happen over the years. They absolutely can. They don't give you the right work, or they don't push the right buttons. I don't know what it is.
Nobody sells you better than yourself.
Exactly. You pilot your own ship. You know how to sell it, where to go, and how to do it. And I believe that managers, unless you're a super duper star and you need somebody to take the phone calls because the world is begging for you, then you have a manager like a secretary because you can't handle it.
Have you done any commercials? Have we ever seen you in a commercial?
Probably not, but I have done commercials. I've done like a regional Midwestern commercial for Taco John's. I don't know if you guys have heard of Taco John's.
Oh, I've heard of Taco John's, yes.
So good. I miss it. I miss their potato lays. Ooh, so good. You can tell why I got the commercial. I did not have to act. And then I did a commercial for Jeep, but I also think it was not national. So, and then I did something international that was showing in Japan and stuff. It was for a laptop company, Lenovo or something. Lenovo.
Okay. Oh yeah, Lenovo. That's a huge company.
This is good for your IMBD. All of this is good
PSA
for your
commercial
real.
thing.
Absolutely. No, I think it's like fun. I mean, I think you have to come out here. You have to like go balls out. Do whatever you can to like get the roles. The biggest thing is go to as many events and functions as you can so you get to network and meet people the same way you met us.
And please, I beg you, and I know you never would because you're a stylish girl, do not wear a skirt that's a clit cover and have your boobs hanging out like all those girls at those red carpets we go to. They make hookers look sophisticated, and they all think that they're going to get a job because some producer's going to think they're gorgeous. Meanwhile, they get laid and that's it. They never get a movie. And I'm dying to tell these girls, get rid of the gold lame platform shoes, the clit cover skirt and the boobs hanging out and the hair all on one side. You look like clones of sluts. It's not going to happen. Be a character, be a person, and I know that I'm sure.
Classic.
Whenever we see you,
you're a classic
you're
beauty.
very much an American Pie girl.
We went to an info list. Event, red carpet for the. We went to a bunch of them, but one of them we went to. We met an actress. Her name was Adrienne Wilkinson, who's been in Star Wars and Star Trek and all kinds of things.
I found her.
And she wore a long red.
No, let me tell it. I'm looking around this
You got 3 minutes, so do it quick.
I'm looking around this huge room, and I see all these tomatoes in these little shitty dresses with the gold lames. Oh, they look like whores. And suddenly, I'm looking at Audrey Hepburn sitting down, the most classic beauty, in a gorgeous red gown to the floor with her hair up. I saw Audrey Hepburn. I went over to her, and I said, I'm gay. I'm telling you, I'm not hitting on you. I'm not some old dirty man. But I want you to know that you are so classically beautiful. You're Audrey Hepburn. You stand out from all these tomatoes that look like cheesy sluts. And she started to laugh. She said, well, I don't feel that. That's not who I am. And she became a good friend, and she's on our show. And turns out she's a very active working actress who gets a lot of roles. So that the cheesy tomatoes, they get nothing.
You don't want to be the girl who takes her top off or something in any movies. You want to be an actress.
Well, sometimes if the role calls for it. I don't like it when they do it to promote the movie because the movie stinks. So it's a titty movie, But if for some reason she's being raped or abused and the dress is ripped and the boob falls out, that's natural. That's
That's not
normal.
what I'm talking about, though. There's a lot of actresses that especially in the horror genre, the only thing they get hired specifically because they'll take their clothes off only. They have 2 lines, but they take their clothes off. You need to stay the elegant, beautiful person that you are.
Well, she knows because in her movie, you know who I'm talking about, who had that wonderful line, "What about me?" which I cracked up laughing, and I love her. She's a sweetie pie. She's one of the nicest people in the world. I'm not going to name her. You go see the film, everybody. But when she said, "What about me?" I broke out. I mean, it was just so not necessary, but so wonderful and funny.
But we want you to be the classic, elegant actress that gets cast for everything and stay that way. I know you're absolutely gorgeous. When we saw you, you were gorgeous. Your talent was amazing. We want everybody to follow you in social media.
We sound like we're bullshit artists. I mean, we
can't help it. Today we had two gorgeous people who are super talented. What can I tell you?
I have a famous quote on my show. I blow smoke up no one's ass. I tell the truth. If I think you stink, I don't say anything. You know, what is the expression? If you have nothing nice to say, say nothing at all. And I live by that. But if you are young and you have something to offer this business, yes, I want to promote you because there's too much garbage in our business right now. Too much killing, too much blood, too much cheesy, vulgar sex, too much. What happened? What was
I don't know.
The voice of nowhere came in. Anyway, we need people like you.
Absolutely. I think it's fabulous. So everybody follow Alex in social media. It's Alex
and
underscore.
Please go see the movie. No kidding around. I thought it was another one of those horror bombs that I had to sit through. I used to kill myself sitting through them. I mean, I wanted to get up and walk out, but I
shot very well.
I couldn't walk out of some of the films I go to because we know the guys who did them. But this film, I really enjoyed it. And I said to Jimmy, my God, there is a horror film that's good after all.
So follow Alex, you guys. She's Alex Reinhardt on Instagram, Alex_Reinhardt on Twitter. She's gonna start tweeting more when Art of the Dead comes out. You definitely want to see it.
Yes,
check out her other films when they come out. Canaan Land and The Black Room, I guess, is already out. We want to thank you for coming on the show.
Wait, and the Art of the Dead deals with the 7 sins. So if you know the 7 sins, you know the art of this film.
And it's fabulous. And we wish you all the luck in the world with everything. And anytime you got anything cool to promote, let us know and we'll bring you back.
Yes.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for being so refreshing and amazing people. Thank you.
No, you're so worth it.
Absolutely.
And thank you for coming on our show, honey.
All right, Alex. Good luck with everything. Bye.
Bye.
See you soon. See you soon. Maybe we'll be working together. See you soon.
You never know. We would love that. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
So next week, you guys, we're at the end of our show. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank our guests, Alex Reinhardt and Gretchen Bonaduce. Thanks, Danielle and Scott.
Yes. Danielle, give me a sexy goodbye.
Goodbye, Ron.
There you go.
Oh, my God. If I was straight, I'd take a plane right to Florida to molest you.
Chat room, everybody, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. We've got Eileen Shapiro, and we've got freestyle dance artist Karina coming on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun, so we'll see you guys next week, and everybody have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye. What nice guests we had today.